Lenny Wilkens was more than just a basketball player or coach. He was a living example of perseverance, humility, and leadership that transcended generations. Born on October 28, 1937, in the heart of Brooklyn, New York, he grew up surrounded by modest means but rich in values. His journey from the streets of Bedford, Stuyvesant to the grandest stages of the NBA is one of the most inspiring tales in sports history. It is a story not only about victories and records, but about character, integrity, and the kind of quiet strength that leaves an eternal mark on everyone it touches. His life, spanning nearly 9 decades, came to a peaceful close on November 9, 2025, but his influence continues to echo through the halls of basketball history. From the beginning, Wilkens carried himself with a rare combination of calm confidence and sharp intelligence. As a young boy, he learned resilience from his African-American father and compassion from his Irish-American mother. His parents instilled in him the values of discipline, humility, and faith, qualities that would become the foundation of his greatness. Growing up Catholic in a tough Brooklyn neighborhood, he quickly learned that success was earned, not given. The game of basketball became his escape and his calling. On the playgrounds and in the gyms of Boys High School, his gift began to reveal itself. Under Coach Mickey Fisher, he developed a deep understanding of teamwork and leadership, sharing the court with future baseball star Tommy Davis. Even then, people could see something special, a player who thought 2 steps ahead, who could lead without raising his voice, and who made everyone around him better. When Wilkens moved on to Providence College, his talent flourished. Between 1959 and 1960, he became one of the most dynamic players in college basketball, earning consecutive All-America honors. He led the Friars to their first national invitation tournament appearance and then to the finals the following year. His unselfish play and ability to read the game like a chessboard set him apart. By the time he graduated, he ranked second in scoring in Providence's history. Decades later, the school honored him by retiring his number 14 jersey, ensuring that his impact would never be forgotten. Lenny Wilkens had gone from a Brooklyn kid with a dream to a rising star ready to leave his mark on the professional stage. In 1960, he was selected as the 6th overall pick in the NBA draft by the St. Louis Hawks, and it didn't take long for him to make an impression. As a rookie, he displayed the same court vision and leadership that had defined his college career. Though the Hawks fell to the powerhouse Boston Celtics in the finals, Wilkens' talent was undeniable. Over 8 seasons with St. Louis, he established himself as one of the smartest and most composed point guards in the league. He was the kind of player who made his teammates better, who could change the pace of a game with a single decision, and who always seemed to know what would happen next. His approach was methodical, his demeanor calm, and his leadership unwavering, a style that would later make him a legendary coach. In 1968, Wilkens was traded to the Seattle Supersonics, where he would become the face and soul of the franchise. His arrival in Seattle marked a new chapter in his career. Averaging over 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists per game, he earned 3 All-Star selections and quickly became a fan favorite. But his brilliance went beyond playing. During his second season, he took on the dual role of player and coach, a rare and challenging position that only someone with his intelligence and poise could handle. Though the Supersonics didn't make the playoffs that season, Wilkens transformed the culture of the team, instilling discipline, teamwork, and belief. When he eventually left Seattle for Cleveland, the fans were heartbroken, a testament to how deeply he had connected with the city. His playing career continued with the Cleveland Cavaliers and Portland Trail Blazers, where his basketball IQ and leadership remained unmatched. By the time he hung up his jersey, he had scored 17,772 career points and ranked second all-time in assists, behind only the great Oscar Robertson. He was a 9-time NBA All-Star and the most valuable player of the 1971 All-Star Game, achievements that reflected not only his skill, but also the respect he commanded among his peers. Lenny Wilkens had mastered the art of the game, not through showmanship, but through understanding, precision, and heart. His transition from player to coach was seamless because leadership had always been in his DNA. As a coach, Wilkens embodied patience, intelligence, and quiet authority. He first began coaching the Seattle Supersonics while still playing, but his true breakthrough came when he returned to the team in 1977 as head coach. Taking over a struggling squad mid-season, he turned them around almost instantly, guiding them to the NBA Finals that same year. The following season, in 1979, he led the Supersonics to their first and only NBA championship, defeating the Washington Bullets in a thrilling series. That victory was more than just a title. It was the culmination of everything Wilkens stood for: teamwork, resilience, and unity. His players adored him because he never demanded respect. He earned it. After Seattle, Wilkens continued to work his quiet magic across the league. In Cleveland, he built a powerhouse that won consistently and reached franchise-best records. Under his guidance, the Cavaliers twice posted 57-win seasons, an incredible achievement at the time. Though they repeatedly ran into Michael Jordan's dominant Chicago Bulls in the playoffs, Wilkens' teams never lost their composure or identity. His Cleveland teams were respected throughout the league for their discipline and selflessness, reflections of their coach's character. In 1993, Wilkens took over the Atlanta Hawks, bringing the same calm confidence that had defined his entire career. On January 6, 1995, he made history by surpassing the legendary Red Auerbach to become the winningest coach in NBA history. It was a monumental achievement that spoke volumes about his longevity and excellence. By the time he retired, he had accumulated 1,332 victories, a record that stood for years. Even decades later, in 2022, he remained third in all-time wins, behind only Don Nelson and Greg Popovich. His career spanned 2,487 regular season games, more than any coach in league history, a number that reflected his durability, adaptability, and lifelong love for the sport. Wilkens later took his talents north of the border to Toronto, where he helped the Raptors achieve their first-ever playoff series victory in 2001. He ended his coaching journey with the New York Knicks, bringing to a close one of the most storied careers in NBA history. But even after stepping away from the sidelines, Wilkens remained a guiding force in basketball. He served as an executive, mentor, and ambassador for the game, continuing to shape the sport he loved until his final years. Beyond basketball, Lenny Wilkens was a man of faith, family, and generosity. Married to his beloved wife, Marilyn Reed, for over 60 years, he was as devoted at home as he was on the court. Together, they raised 3 children, Leisha, Randy, and Jamie, and were blessed with 7 grandchildren. His home in Medina, Washington, was a place of laughter, faith, and gratitude. Even after achieving global fame, he remained grounded, always giving credit to his upbringing and the people who helped him along the way. Through the Lenny Wilkens Foundation for Children, he worked tirelessly to support education and health care for underprivileged youth, believing that every child deserved a chance to succeed. His legacy of giving extended far beyond the scoreboard. When Lenny Wilkens passed away peacefully on November 9, 2025, surrounded by family, the world lost not only one of basketball's greatest minds, but one of its kindest souls. His cause of death was never publicly disclosed, a private farewell befitting a man who had always carried himself with quiet dignity. Tributes poured in from around the world, from players he had coached, teammates he had inspired, and fans who had grown up watching him lead by example. His name now stands among the immortals, but his true greatness lay in how he lived, not just in what he achieved. Lenny Wilkens' story is the embodiment of the American dream, a journey from humble beginnings to the pinnacle of greatness, achieved through faith, perseverance, and integrity. He will forever be remembered as more than a player, more than a coach. He was a mentor, a bridge between generations, and a true gentleman of the game. His calm wisdom, gentle spirit, and unshakable belief in teamwork continue to inspire players and coaches alike. Though his voice has fallen silent, his influence echoes on every court where the game is played with passion and respect. Lenny Wilkens didn't just change basketball, he elevated it, leaving behind a legacy that will remain timeless and unbroken.